So this is really where it's interesting at this point. Where do I start with this one, huh? I mean, before I leave for Florida, the song that gets put out by Angie, Fat Joe, and Eminem. Pop Smoke. Interesting. Who ends up in my jail cell? The block where I seen, I guess, Big Pun or Fat Joe. Prior to my cousin being raped. And then, of course, there's the, choking on the chicken bone. Which then I don't even want to get into the foot bone. I'm not sure exactly how, but that's probably has something to do with something. Chicken bone, foot bone, fucking. So anyway. And then I'm saying to myself, wow. Just wow. 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 You know, Angie, it's like when we met all those years ago, when I was like a young little retard, with a nice car, wasn't even close to fully awoke, didn't even realize all the good things that I did. And I made myself come off as a fucking scumbag to you. I just want you to know one thing. First off, that's what was being drilled in my head from every direction. And I also want you to know that those same people that were supported are the ones that were doing it. So it hurt me. It did. It kind of hurt me to find out that, this and that. And it's like, oh, well. And then it's like, oh, well, we're not family no more. And it's like, well, you know something? You know something? Because everybody knew more than me. Right, Angie? Martinez. You know what? That's so awesome. Because you know what? At least I'm not a fucking fat ass James Diaz. At least I'm not a fucking guy who fucking becomes a fucking, as far as I understand it, a fucking scuzzy-wuzzy fucking detective who fucking cut a kid's guts open. A Spanish kid's guts open. And fucked him up the ass. At least I'm not that guy. And I'll take a lie detector yet again. Every fucking day of the week. Every day of the week. Every day of the month. Every day of the fucking year. At least I'm not that guy. It's like, how do you sound tough when that's the shit that fucking, it's like, my cousin was supposedly raped. I was not there. And then all of a sudden, Fat Joe dies. Big Pun dies, which is a joke, right? Because, it's like, who was fatter? And it's like, well, the joke died choking on a chicken bone. You know what I'm saying? It's like, haha, haha. Remember, all those songs? All those songs that I had no fucking idea what the fuck was going on at all, because nobody was really truly fucking breaking this down in any way, shape, or form. And it's like, oh, just a little couple cheap shots at yak, right, man? Right? It's all good, yo. It's all good. You know? Because I want you to hear this. And I want you to hear this very well, right? You know? Because I'm saying to myself, it's like, wow, the whole log situation and what went down and the blood gang hating me for it or her for it. Are you kidding me? Seriously? Wow, man. Wow, man. That's how much I'm just at this point. You know what? If I didn't almost fucking how many this shirt of mine is like, it's like me. And you know something? It's like that's what this it's just right now I'm like overly disgusted with the coloring, right? You know the funny thing is like here I am standing at and forgive me when I say a year and a half because I wasn't a year and I was a few months. I was taking my first steps in life. My first steps. And my first steps, some of my first steps, literally, like the week of me taking my first steps. There I am standing toe to toe with my Uncle Snoopy. Snoop Dogg. Wow. Wow. Totally forgot about that because that was totally not important. Funny as hell. But at that point, it wasn't that important throughout my life to remember that. Now you know what hurts me right now, or disgusts me, or I don't even know what feeling I actually feel right now, right? Is on the way down to see my mom who raised me, my grandma who raised me, who I always called mom. For the last Christmas I probably would have ever spent with her on planet Earth. It was interesting. Now, give me a break, okay? I'm just trying to fucking explain the fucking majority of the narrative of the bullshit that I am fucking tired of, okay? So going down in 2019 to go spend the last Christmas I'd probably ever go and spend with my mom. Alive. I get on the train. I buy the ticket to go into the city. And, you know, it's like I buy a ticket for a discount because, you know, I'm fucking retarded and shit, right? But I'm not. But I am. But I'm not. And then it's like thanks to the drugging, thank you so much. I mean, no, seriously, the radioactive diamond dust was the fucking, you know, I would have never thought that in my life. I would have thought I constantly thought dick softener, dick hardener, dick this or fucking, you know, but I would, you know what, I really just, that is biological weapon warfare on a fucking twisted ass level, man. So, that's interesting. But where am I? Other than in a fucking house, which we are now, me and the house are in a competition on which smells worse. Which is awesome. That is fucking awesome. Thank you. And the reason I'm saying this to you, Angie, is because it's like, I really could have cared less about a lot of people. It's like, it hurt me that day, what you said all those years ago. you know what? And I'm not gonna go down this whole fucking Tupac thing again. Or how I didn't even know for fucking how many fucking years. I mean, even when I recognized it at one point in time, and I was like, wait a minute, was that Tupac? No. Like 10 years after it happened, I was like, no, that wasn't. That couldn't have been Tupac. I asked him if he was Tupac. He told me no. But it was Tupac. And on the same day that Tupac was shot in 1996, nobody heard about Anthony Yaki, who went head to head with Tupac Shakur on his 15th birthday in traffic in a car that he wasn't supposed to be driving, although he had a fucking junior's license at 15, almost the last license in New York State. And actually, well, if not the last junior's license in New York State at 15. And a hit was put on my life in a different shape or form. At least an 8-car pileup. The fucking car that was coming up behind my car, speeding up with no headlights as it was becoming dark. I mean, really. I mean, it was actually just about dark. I barely seen him in time in order to make the fucking split second to fucking decision to fucking pull my car up and out of the fucking way of the oncoming car. You know something? It's like, would I have done that if there would have been a possible? If I don't even know if there was. I don't think there was. But would I have done that if I would have not been sure if there was a kid in the car ahead of me? I'm not sure. But you know what I do know? You know what I do know, Angie? You know what I do know? I know that almost 20 years later, 20 something years later. Wait. Almost 15 something. So you know, 15 years later. I'll say around about. I know that when I purchase, and I'm getting to this whole thing, but I'm just going to throw this out there right now. I know that when I purchase a car from a dealership, and 15 minutes later, as me and my friend are driving to go get brunch, and me saying thank you for co-signing a car, which I probably didn't even need a co-signer at that point in time. And I'm going to get to that in a second. But me and my friend are sitting in a car and driving on the way into fucking Port Jeff. And all of a sudden, the car loses all its brakes. There is a fucking 9-foot flame coming off the front tire, leading back to the gas tank. And later on, and I'm leaving out so many other little fucking details right this second, because I'm just telling about this decision. As I'm heading into parked oncoming traffic at a traffic light, double yellow line road, oncoming cars on the other side of the double yellow line. And oh, what is this? But there is a woman and a baby carriage walking onto the curb right next to the road. There's not much of a curb. So if I hit the car dead on and this and that, or if I freaking, and God forbid the car goes into the oncoming cars and then spins around and hit, I mean, there was a lot of mechanics to that decision of me at that point stepping onto the gas, and narrowly, I'm talking like this, missing the car ahead of me. I'm talking baby carriage was like I missed the baby carriage probably by 3.5, 4 feet. No shit. No shit. Centimeters on the fucking other side. Didn't even scratch the car. And then I park that car, pulling up on the fucking e-brake with both hands while I'm steering, while I'm pulling with my fucking knee fucking on the steering wheel, with my other foot jamming on the fucking brake as hard as possible. And I bring that car to a fucking stop. I throw the fucking car into park, neutral, whatever the fuck the case was, and I bring that car to that fucking stop. And then my seatbelt goes to lock, and then my friend's seatbelt is locked. I get out the car, I help her with a seatbelt as I'm on the phone with the fucking police, and no cops show up. Wow. Fucking wow. You know what? That's what makes me feel that I did the right decision when I was 15 on the same day that Tupac Shakur was being fucking shot. That's what I feel about the decision I made on that day. Because there was a hit put on my life, but nobody heard about that on the motherfucking news. So why am I bringing up Big Pun? Because in Queens, on that block, near that train station, is when I supposedly met him. Or was it Fat Joe? I don't know. I mean, they look. I was just like a 15-year-old kid that was just basically just learning to like kind of like rap at that point. And here I am meeting fucking Big Pun and Fat Joe, or one of the two. No, it was one of the two, at the fucking bodega on the fucking block. Where then, which is interesting because then later on that same block, a couple years down the line, not even, yeah, maybe a couple years down the line, not even sure when, compared to the incident, or compared to seeing him right there. All of a sudden, I'm being introduced to some kid who acts like a fucking cat, supposedly, because I didn't see him acting like a cat, right? I mean, come on, man. You know? And what I'm getting to is, you know, right after meeting him, with people standing around me, the Espositos were definitely introducing me to him because they wanted me to see what the fuck went wrong with this one. And that's why I'm saying this, because you know something, it's like with all the rumors, and then 3 days later, I'm being approached saying that I hurt this kid. I've never hurt a kid like no, sorry, fucking any day of the week, fucking nah. Not the way that this motherfucker said that I fucking supposedly fucking hurt him. Nah. Sorry. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. I want to kill people because of this. That's what I want to do. Yeah. Yeah, I do. But what's interesting, Angie Martinez, is after all that shit goes down, and then you know, another couple years, and then my cousin supposedly being raped, and then you know, the terror squad being behind it. So then fucking, you know, all of a sudden, you know Big Pun chokes on a chicken bone. It's like, what? Wow. On my way to go see my mother now. I'm going ahead. I don't know if maybe I might have to go back a second too. But then on the way to go see my mom, for maybe one, you know, I've already said this at this point. And All of a sudden, the conductor's like, oh, blah blah blah. He's like, you shouldn't be riding the train with this ticket. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, he's like, oh, it's a peak hour, blah blah blah. You know something? It's like, you know what? Just so that there was no fucking confrontation, because I didn't want to screw up going to see my mom for one last Christmas. I get off the train in Queens, don't even fucking, not even thinking about most of the fucking, and then that's when it started the fucking rushing. And I'm saying to myself, wait a minute, why does this look all familiar? I'm like, wait a minute. And I go do my laundry at the fucking laundromat, and I'm saying to myself, it's like, And I start seeing people, and I'm like, wow, these people are, I know what the fuck this. Oh, you got to be fucking kidding me. And then it's hitting me, and I'm like, that's the fucking block where I seen fucking Fat Joe, Big Pun, whatever the fuck, whoever the fuck. It's like, that's where Wallster brought me, and Krista Moore. Wow, man. It's funny that, like, it's like, wow, man. You know what fucking what gets me is that, you know what? It's like a lot of talk of me being around that area. Like, I've fucking never hung out there. Never ever fucking hung out near fucking that fucking the one or two times was not from the rumors that were coming back to me. Angie, that's not what the rumors were coming back to me. The rumors were that I was living out there. But who the fuck was actually... My brother Joey was living out there. Witchy twitchy, twitchy witchy. That's where it gets interesting, because the people that I noticed the day of 2019 leaving to go see my mom were the Espositos. Or at least people who knew the Espositos. And I'm not saying that they had anything, because it seemed like they were just as confused. And if they were picking up on something, I was picking up on something too, and that's when it really, really got to me later on. Because I'm saying to myself, wow, that's the place that they brought me. That's the people that I talked to. Wow, those are the people that afterwards I came back at some point in time, and they were like, don't ever come back here. And I was like, what the fuck did I do to these people? You know something? That's why it's real fucking interesting that... And I find this real fucking interesting, is that all of a sudden, I get to Florida. Now, am I leaving? Oh, the only other thing that I'm leaving out is the song. And within the song, Eminem brings up the plaque that Afeni Shakur gave him with the song titles of Tupac's fucking songs, right? And I'm saying to myself, that's real fucking interesting, because I remember that. This was but this was like a day, 2 days before I actually got on the train and got stuck out in Queens for an hour, before buying another ticket, getting on the train, going to Penn, and then getting on the train and going to fucking Florida. All of a sudden, a song I come across, and I'm like, wow, look at this. And then it's Eminem, and he's talking in the song with the, you, Angie, and, Fat Joe, of course, who looks and sounds a whole lot. Like it's funny, too, because I don't want to forget this part either. It's funny. It's like when I just listened to the song and I'm saying to myself, wow, that voice really sounds interesting. It's like, oh, where do I know that kind of? Because I know it's not the same one. Same voice. And then I'm like, wow, Jimmy Enright, right? Oh, wow, that's a real fucking interesting one, right? Because, wow, man. Wow, man. Wow, man. Yo, wow, man. I'm saying to myself, wow, that's because not only does Jimmy fat and he looks like, and then he always rep Puerto Rican and shit, and it's like, it's really funny. It's like, really? It's like, why did he take the fucking cheap shot on me that day of that fucking dude? What the fuck was that guy's name I was just talking about? That fucking acting motherfucker that I met. That motherfucking piece of shit that fucking told me right to my face. He's like, well, we're gonna kill you. But it's nothing personal. It's just business. Yeah, it's just business? Well, you know what? You better be dead, because if you're not dead, you fucking, I can't even remember your fucking name, you fucking scuzzy-wuzzy piece of shit. I'm gonna fucking kill you myself. I hope I have the money so I can hunt down your fucking ghost or your dead body, dig it up, and kill you again. The fuck is his name? I can't even remember his fucking name. The point being is I've already went into that. So then, what the fuck, where was I? Jimmy. Voice sounds like song. Oh, the song with the plaque. Yeah. Eminem starts talking about the plaque that he got from Afeni Shakur. It's interesting because the plaque that I got was in a very, very particular shape. And I've said this before, and I'll say this again. It was in the shape of a police badge. And the fucked up part is that I wasn't the only kid to get one of those plaques. That's why when I heard Eminem say it, I'm saying to myself, wow, bro, seriously? Because what was found out once I started hearing the fucking plaque start to talk, I took the plaque off the fucking wall, looked, and seen that the fucking plaque had fucking little holes in the back. There was a two-way microphone in the back of the plaque. Out of the kids that nobody was actually sure of the actual number of plaques that were given out, 2 of the plaques were rigged to burn down. At least that's what they're thinking, because there wasn't enough of the one plaque that there was a mystical fire that started in fucking one of the kids' houses. The other plaque they found did not fucking burn yet. That's what I was told. That's what I was informed on. So, they left the other plaques alone to see if they could find out this and that. But me, I was pissed. I was, what was I, like 11, 12 years old? I was saying so much racist shit at the fucking top of my lungs, standing in my room, looking directly at that fucking plaque. That she came back and took the plaque away. I was like, take your fucking plaque. I don't want your fucking plaque. And then I told her about the microphone. So then people got pissed at me, right? Because I knew. Because she came into my house saying that I was a little racist, disrespectful bastard and shit like that. And I'm saying to myself, it's like, wow. It's like, really? Wow. You know, 29 minutes. I'm gonna just clip this now because I gotta go take a leak, get some more coffee. I'll be right fucking back.